All right, thank you all for being here for our Eastside Wrap meeting. Purposes of these meetings is to kind of address issues of homelessness on the East Side, as well as just to better understand what's going on in the East Side neighborhood in general related to homelessness. My name is Landon Rank. I'm the Director of Programs at SB Act, and this is a partnership with the City of Santa Barbara as a part of our broader South County Act on Homelessness Collaborative. So I know you were introduced last meeting, but I want to give you a chance to introduce yourself again, Carrie, if you want to jump in.
Hi, Carrie Payne I'm the new Housing and Homeless Services Coordinator with the City of Santa Barbara. So joining the City Administrators team about a month now. So I'm learning a lot and look forward to being more involved with this group and with all of the homeless services and efforts in the city.
Thanks, Carrie. We also have Councilmember Santa Maria with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi,
Uh,
everyone.
So as we start, just as usual, a reminder, we meet every 2 weeks. So our next meeting will be on Friday the 20th this month. And then I did want to note we have these cards that have all the different phone numbers for addressing homelessness in the city. And they are out of date now that we have the Mercy House shelter in. I needed to take off the PATH phone number. And then the CityNet team has let me know to use a different line for their outreach. So I'm going to be working over the next couple of weeks to update these cards, including adding a QR code for the SB Connect app. So just note that, and hopefully I'll be able to get those out to you all soon. And then I had one other just general announcement to share. Our homelessness services providers are already aware of this, but the County of Santa Barbara is going to be conducting a study of vehicular homelessness throughout Santa Barbara County. That's going to start at the end of February and then go through the end of March. And then hopefully we'll be able to have some results sometime midway through this year. But the goal is really just to better understand this growing problem of people living in their vehicles. There's a lot of questions we have about who is the population, what are the demographics? Is it mostly people who are just passing through? Is it mostly local residents who are working in town? We just want to get a better understanding of this issue so that we can address it. I know this is an issue on the east side, and so I wanted to share that that's happening over the next month or so, so that hopefully we'll have some new information to report that can inform how we address the issue in the future. I don't have a whole lot more information outside of what I've shared, but are there any questions about that? All right. So typically at this time in the meeting, we'll open it up for community members to share any questions or concerns that you have before we go to the service providers. So let's open it up for our community members.
Since nobody's speaking, um, Mercy House. Who's here from Mercy House?
Hi, this is Nancy with Mercy House.
Nancy, what you guys have been doing has been absolutely awesome. I think the impact in and around Milpas, I mean, I feel it, I see it. I think there's a part of me that's been literally holding my breath going, We'll see, it's just temporary." But it's a big difference. And I just want you to know I'm deeply, deeply grateful. So thank you for what you guys are doing. And thank you to the city for having made this happen. It is like night and day. And I don't know, Susie, are you? There's Susie. How is it for you? Because you're closer.
Yeah, we've seen it's interesting. There's a couple cast of characters that still make their presence. But then they disappear very quickly. I know it looks like they're going towards the Mercy House, Nancy, and then they're very quickly back onto walking around on the street. So it looks like they're not going inside, which is probably a good thing, being they're or challenged individuals that have ulterior motives, I think. So, but for the most part, quite happy. Thank you.
Oh, that really warms my heart. Thank you, everyone. It really is the team out there. We have our program manager and our staff that we continue to onboard staff to completely get us fully staffed. And they've been doing a wonderful job. So I'll share this, with them. And I was out there just last week, and I also noticed like the difference. There is you can just feel it. Like you said, it's like you feel it the minute you even drive by. It's a complete different environment, I would say. So I'm really really grateful to have this opportunity to work with all of our community partners. It really has taken everyone really on board, even our business neighbors, really just kind of also being very welcoming, very willing to work with us and be patient. We definitely are trying, to make a difference, and I'm really really happy to hear, these comments. I will share those with the rest of our team. I'm sure they will be really happy to hear that.
Yeah, I think it's been years and people have heard me scream on these calls. And I have long maintained that what happens within the shelter, that professional management, is reflected outside. And what you've done is you've proven that. And you've shown that you guys are professionals. And just hats off to you, my respect and deep, deep, sincere appreciation.
Well, thanks, Natasha. And Nancy, we know that the hiring is a big task, given how many staff you have to get for your new team. So just let us know how we can support that effort.
We're almost there. I want to say we're more
Okay,
than halfway there. So
that's
if you
great.
know anyone, I mean, we have our postings. There are vacancies through Indeed. So we would encourage, if you know anyone who's interested in being part of Mercy House, I highly encourage them to apply.
Awesome.
Nancy, is there a way that you could share a link that we could send out or that we could help promote those
Yeah,
vacancies? Because I do think that everybody would be eager to, put it out on social media or whatever it needs to.
it's like tell your friends kind of thing.
Yeah, we definitely want the shelter fully staffed.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead and look for that link, and I'll share it with this group.
Thank you. Jose.
Oh, yes. Good morning to everybody that just recently joined. I really don't want to get too much into federal issues, but the thing that's been happening, and I spoke to Rob Friedrichs about this a while back, and those that are sitting at Mercy Housing, they're people living in their vehicles, and of course the tiny homes. It's become even more difficult for them to get into proper housing, especially if they applied for Section 8 vouchers. And I'm just, unfortunately, Rob Friedrichs or anybody from the Housing Authority is not, in this discussion here. But my question is how is everybody handling this? Try to get people where I'm at right now. We have 4, empty spots, and one of them will be getting a new tenant. That means we're going to still have 3. So my question is, if any of you are working on this sort of thing, what's happening with that?
Thank you. That's a great question. I have a slide on this that I almost pulled up, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the full flyer for it. But Rob Fredericks from the Housing Authority and others are trying to address some of these issues. One of the things that I think Jose is referring to is that there's one of the housing voucher programs, the emergency housing vouchers, that is going to be ending early per a decision from the federal government. It was supposed to go through 2030, and instead it's now ending December of this year. So this is the total number of households, 223 across Santa Barbara County, so not just the city, but the total number that currently rely on those for their housing that are going to have to figure out some other way to have the income to be able to pay for rent starting after in the new year. So that's one group, and then I think another group is that potentially could be at risk in the near future would be families with mixed immigration statuses, like where one member of the household or more is undocumented. And so that would obviously affect a lot of families in Santa Barbara County who are living with Section 8 vouchers. So these are both big concerns. I know with this program in particular, the emergency housing voucher program, both the county and the city housing authority are asking community members to call elected representatives to fund the EHV program from the state using state funds, since the federal government is not going to fund it. So that's one call to action that I can put in the chat window. If you're so inclined, encourage you to just do your research on that a little bit more. But that's what I can say is happening, at least on an advocacy level. I don't know, Al, or if anybody from your team wants to talk about how you are kind of working with clients who might be potentially in this position to lose their voucher in the future.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but what I can say in terms of the documentation status is I've had a lot of luck with Undocufund. Reaching out to the program manager directly. They have grants. I think it's up to $2,000 per person for like food and back rent, vehicle repairs, emergency housing. So that is like one positive thing that's going on. But in terms of retaining the vouchers, I'm not too sure.
Yes, excuse me. Yes, because when I was homeless and I was waiting to get housed, and where I'm at now, I had to pay full rent, which that practically took practically my entire Social Security at that time. And then the following month, I did receive my Section 8 voucher. And my understanding back in that time period, it would take anywhere from 5 to maybe 10 years for somebody to get a Section 8 voucher. Now, because things have changed with the administration, federal administration, I have heard it's anywhere from, maybe 15, 20, 25 years, to get accepted because of the cutbacks. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time on this.
Thanks, Jose.
I was going to jump in just to break down a little bit of another option we have. We're actually working with one individual right now that I'm trying to get into El Carrillo. Hopefully we'll get that answer in the next, hopefully 24 hours. And so what the EHV voucher, we weren't able to attach to the unit at El Carrillo because of what Landon had said. This individual, we have a new, and this is for everyone. So just if you have any referrals, please send them our way. We have a new domestic violence contract. So any individuals that have went through that experience, and are in, currently experiencing unhoused situation, please refer them to us where we have rapid rehousing funds available for these individuals. So this one, it happened to align with the EHV. Since they're not going to be allowed to use that, thankfully, we're going to be able to enroll them with our services, which will be able to pay for this individual's rent for at least up to a year. So at that point, the voucher is going to be done, like Landon was saying, it looks like the end of the year right now. So they're not going to accept the voucher, but they will accept the rapid rehousing funding for this individual. So during that time, we're going to be able to, let's say, start off at 100% paying for the rent, working our way to 90%, 80%, 70%, so on and so forth. So as that goes, the individual will start creating that additional income to pay for her rent. So by the time the year comes up, they'll be fully sustained to be able to continue their housing and go from there. So that's just, being able to weave together the different funding sources, the different contracts, and kind of just trying to be innovative on how we can provide the support to our these individuals that are, going through that mental, preparation of like, this could happen. right? So just trying to just ease that for them and let them know there are other options, but it's our responsibility as the community, as the village, to be able to provide that information to them. So I want to let everyone know we do have a new domestic violence contract that has rapid rehousing funding connected to it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and then I could connect you with one of my case managers that can move forward with any process for anyone that is qualified. Thank you.
Thank you, Al, and appreciate all the work your team's doing. Just everybody knows this is a big concern for everybody who's kind of in homelessness and housing right now. These changes plus changes to Medicaid, that the big concern is that we'll have more and more people on the streets after this year. Hopefully, we will be able to work out a lot of solutions, and hopefully, we'll be able to get some funding to backfill these programs. But just note that that's probably going to be a topic of conversation in the coming months. Chris, go ahead. Chris, you're muted. I don't know if you're trying to speak right now. We can circle back to Chris in a little bit.
I'm
Go
sorry, I
ahead.
fixed it. Is that okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm on my iPad, which I rarely am, so it's different configuration slightly. I just wanted to piggyback a little bit on what Natasha had to say, in that I live on Cacique Street, as Mercy House is on the same street on the other side of Milpas. And I go by there a lot. It's on my way to the bank. I mean, it's on my way to the post office, and it's on my way to church. And since Mercy House has taken over this year, the most homeless people I have seen there is 2. And anytime I've seen 1 or 2, I've seen a security guard out there in front at the same time. I have seen 0 encampment-like settings between there and Marburg, which they would frequently set up their boxes, their blankets, their sleeping bags, and lots and lots of trash. I see 0 trash. It has been picked up. It's cleaned. It's like night and day. So I just also wanted to give that shout out to Mercy House for the job done so far. Is excellent, A+.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. I think that's a good segue. Why don't we go ahead and go to our service providers? And I'd love to start with Mercy House and just have you share an update about kind of everything and how it's going so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So I share a little bit about our hiring. We're still hiring, so spread the word. We will appreciate that. And as far as the shelter, I know we recently just participated in the pit count, and that was something that our team was very focused on, making sure that we had an accurate count at the shelter, and entering all the data into HMIS. So that was done. It took us some time to be able to complete that, but I want to say that the overall participation was very successful. Right now at the shelter, the clients are already working with their assigned housing navigator, which is helping them create housing stabilization plans, so that they can create plans to transition out of the shelter into permanent housing. So I am really happy to hear here at this meeting that of the rapid housing funds, that may be a way that we can probably connect some of our clients to that resource. And especially because we foresee, we foresee and we expect that some clients will, transition successfully into permanent housing. That's our ultimate goal here. So we are already working with all of the clients there to create those stabilization plans.
That's great. Thank you, Nancy. All right. Can we hear from the CityNet team?
Yes, of course. Encampments along Cabrillo Boulevard have been addressed, and we are continuing to engage with clients at various locations. However, we're still noting higher activity at 300 West Montecito and 300 North Milpas. We have also supported several positive exits and are continuing case management services. Yesterday, we assisted an individual who maintains frequent law enforcement contact for large encampments and disturbances by assisting him with cleanup and relocation, as well as helping him obtain a medical bed at Mercy House. So, again, we're continuing to work with clients, meeting new ones, and introducing the various resources and services provided not only with CityNet, but with other agencies and nonprofits.
Thanks, Ashley. We don't have anyone from Safe Parking with us today, but I'll see if we can get someone on the call for the 20th just to get a little update from them. But let's go to Andrew with Code Enforcement.
Thanks, Landon. Yeah, from the code enforcement side, we've been putting a lot of effort into the camps along East Beach as well, addressing the whole area from Stearns Wharf. This focus has been down towards the Cabrillo lot there next to the Cabrillo Pavilion, just west of it. So we've been working along there. That dredge pipe being moved up onto the ice plant has created a little bit of a camouflage or a bit of a nook there. And we're just working with some individuals that have, tried to make that home. It's really not a great location with the high tides and some of the high surf we're having. So, but great to hear that CityNet's been out there, and we've been doing a cleaning every day along that stretch, which has had some really positive impacts, and working with those individuals. Aside from that, we continue to address a lot, just along East Yananali and the underpasses. Those are kind of some main pain points for us currently, just with reoccurring encampments. We still are on a very regular schedule of power washing, litter pickups, abandoned waste collections, and then addressing those encampments on a case-by-case basis. Just to note, so that people are aware, to align with the state, our encampment noticing has changed to 48 hours now. Whereas before there were 24-hour noticing. So if you do see those paper notices up, there is that 48-hour period that people do have to remove their belongings before any cleaning would take place. So just want everyone to be aware that there is a new time frame that we're working under. But regardless, yeah, we continue to work with those individuals, encourage them towards resources, and then do our best to just keep the general areas clean. A lot of it just comes down to some reoccurring litter pickups and things like that just that help us to keep those those areas of Cacique and sort of the Lower East Side there clean on the whole.
Thanks, Andrew.
We appreciate you, my brother. It makes a difference for us out there too.
And then let's go to Lieutenant Beltran.
Thanks, Landon. As usual, just kind of piggybacking on everything Andrew said, we kind of like work similar things, or similar areas rather. The primary focus for us has been very similar. It's been beachfront, that pipe where everyone's been. We've been working with Harbor Patrol quite a bit in the mornings and getting out there to try to deal with that. Otherwise, as far as everything else goes, we're still just kind of doing our normal rounds. Cacique has been looking pretty good, like it's been mentioned earlier on the call. And then Cacique Footbridge, there's still been some not so much unhoused issues, but some other issues, neighborhood things that have gone on there, and some loitering that I guess has made some people uneasy. So we're trying to make a presence there. And our nighttime team has been a really big help for us now that we have 7-day coverage. We have CAT during the days, and then at night we have our nighttime directed patrol enforcement team, and they've been a huge help to address things at night that we would not otherwise get to as frequently as just relying on patrol officers. But otherwise, that's pretty much the only update that I have.
Thanks, Lieutenant Beltran. Carrie, not to put you on the spot again, but I don't know if you have any updates you want to share from the city then. And no is okay.
No, I don't have any updates. I'm really still, getting to know all the efforts, and yeah, wish I did. Thankful for our team. I think that there's a lot of work that is being done, and it's really wonderful to hear that the Cacique area is more cleaned up for the neighborhood. I mean, that was a huge goal. And yeah, I'm just going to really support Mercy House and getting fully staffed so that we can get up to capacity, because I know that that will make a difference in where people are able to go.
Terry, I have a question. I know that Barbara Anderson mentioned that the kitchen at Mercy House was a disaster zone. I mean, where are we with, those upgrades for the Mercy House? Because we want to make sure they're successful.
Yeah, I know that they've done a lot of cleanup, and I'm walking through there. It's no longer a disaster. And Nancy could probably speak more accurately on where they're at with food prep, but I do believe that right now they are getting food catered. And so the kitchen isn't the main source of food for the shelter. Nancy?
Yeah, that is correct. Right now, there's absolutely no food prep in the kitchen area. All of the meals provided to the clients are catered.
And we are working through a very long punch list of upgrades and life safety issues that need to be addressed. And so that is also making it difficult to come up to the full capacity of the shelter as well. But the city is working through how to address those and make sure that it's a safe place for everybody to live and can be a space where people can thrive. So.
Thanks, Carrie. Councilmember Santa Maria, no pressure, but if you want to give you an opportunity, if you wanted to share anything.
Thank you so much, Landon, and good to see you all. No updates on my end other than just wanted to relay a couple of things I've been hearing from constituents. So I've also been hearing good reviews about the area around Milpas and Cacique, and it's much cleaner, safer. Now, what I have been hearing is different problem areas. So this morning I got an email about across the bus stop from Montecito Street. They said there's the alley between right next to Trader Joe's. And so that's been identified as a problem area. And then the underpass under Quarantina, which I know most of those are already being looked at, but I wanted to highlight those because I've been getting multiple reports about those two locations in particular over the last 3 days. It's been everything's been really recent. So it seems to be an ongoing pattern in those two particular areas. So I'm really glad to see and hear that the reports that I get from constituents are a lot less now about Cacique and Milpas. And I think, 1,000% grateful to Mercy House and everything they've done so far. And that's without all the staffing. So I'm excited to see what we can do as a community, once they're fully staffed. But yeah, I think we are making some good progress. I am personally I no regrets on voting to support, the acquisition of this property and really making it something that is city run and city led along with Mercy House. I think that's been, been so far so good. So yeah, if there are resources that you all wanted me to pass along, I'm happy to do that. I see some folks are dropping in some links here, so I will go ahead and pass those on to the folks reaching out. But I did just want to highlight, those areas right next to Trader Joe's and then the Quarantina underpass as being some really key hotspots that we're hearing reports from.
Yes, we have been providing a lot of outreach in that alley by Trader Joe's. Some of the people there at first were a little bit reluctant to services, but I think we've been building up some pretty positive rapport. So hopefully we can start doing some intakes with those folks over there.
Thank you.
And Wendy, I left my number in there as well, so you can also give them directly to me. And then so if you receive the email, just send them a number. They can send me pictures are always helpful, so we can identify the individuals, right? And then literally get to me, send it to Olivia and Ashley and our team. Luckily, we have a team that works 7 days a week. So there's coverage throughout this. So we'll be pretty flexible for the support.
Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and forward you some of those things.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
all.
I want to echo what Wendy was saying. And Landon, I know you got my text around Quarantina. And when I walked by, I mean, normally I will take pictures and it felt risky to take pictures. And the smell was terrible. When I walked by, they were blocking the road, and I don't even know what they were doing. And then also that vehicular homelessness, you can see it right up Quarantina.
Yeah, I'll pass that along to the safe parking team. I know they are doing outreach in that area, but always good to let them know that people are noticing and submitting concerns.
Yeah.
And I
It's a
can,
challenging group
oh,
for sure, because we deal with it on a day-to-day basis
Yeah.
with our drivers and the C&D yard. So
I can speak to that area as well, Lane. And it is still being power washed on Tuesdays and Fridays. So today would be one of those days that that area is cleaned. There's a very problematic RV that I'm sure you've seen. Unfortunately, code is limited in our ability to deal with vehicles. That doesn't fall under our encampment protocol or what we're doing. But I do know that parking enforcement and New Beginnings have been making efforts with that vehicle. We're dealing with the associated waste that it draws in, and whatnot. But it's a continuing challenge. We've been down there cleaning. Now that we have a different sort of noticing period, we sometimes you'll see a day gap, but we are down there cleaning at least twice a week, working with those encampments. We just have issues with their ability to return, and for us that it's not necessarily a permanent solution just to clean the area. So just a little update from the code side. We are still just regularly, reoccurring things just for the litter and the power washing, but then addressing each of the encampments as they start to form.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. All right. Anything else while we're all together? Concerns, announcements, questions? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and ask community members to drop off the call. Service providers, you can stick around for just a minute more. But to those of you dropping off, thank you for being here. Have a great weekend.
And again, thank you everyone for all of your efforts and, for just reaching this milestone is really phenomenal. Thank you.
Thanks, Natasha.